Hello again. Thank you for tuning into my channel, IceGirlak. Now I wanted to explain how my take on news and events might actually go by giving you one of the first things that really strikes me as something, if you missed it, I hope you will give it some time and attention now. Gene Colan died June 23rd at 84, and he left a huge impact in the comic book world and in my own life. First, let's go over some of his notable things. He co-created Falcon and illustrated Blade, a hero that needs no introduction thanks to the Wesley Snipes movies. This was important for multiple reasons. One, Falcon was the first African-American superhero. This was pushed by Stan Lee because of the civil rights movement. They wanted a black hero to kind of stay with the times, and Colan was on board for this. Now, aside from his creations, he was a definitive artist on many heroes, including Daredevil and Iron Man. Yes, Frank Miller eventually took Daredevil to new heights, but before Miller ever touched Matt Murdock, it was Colan who gave the fluid motion, turning a blind man into an acrobat. I myself, a huge Iron Man fan before the current movie hype momentum, and that was my first comic that I got into. Yet, looking at the artwork before Colan touched Iron Man, you can look at Steve Ditko's terrible take on him, where it makes it look more like, yes, Tony Stark has a heart condition, but you're more worried about my grandmother killing him. Or before that, King Kirby, an amazing artist, yet under his penmanship, Iron Man looked more like a guy in a big iron lung or diving suit who had about as much fluidity of motion as a garbage compactor. So, when you look at it, if it wasn't for the artwork of Colan, we would have never had the Iron Man we know today. In fact, that's why the Invincible Iron Man comic, issue number 1, the definitive kickoff to Iron Man, was penned by Colan. Now, you might be thinking, all this stuff happened during the Silver Age, the past. What was Gene Colan up to now? Well, in 2009, he won the Eisner Award for his work on Captain America as the single best issue written that particular year. In his 80s, he was still winning awards for his artwork and commitment to comics as not just some form of pulp, but an art that needed to be expressed, on top of which, even while he was ill, he was still going to autograph signings and meeting his fans. Whereas even Stan Lee himself at first felt a little put off by telling people he was in the comic book business, Gene Colan wasn't one of those individuals. He always took pride in his work. Remember a man who helped create the world and fantasies we all love to play in. Thank you for your time, and be seeing you.